You know that feeling of being totally overwhelmed by choices? I mean, it feels like a modern curse, right? Well, what if I told you that a short, really profound poem from ancient Korea has something to say about that? It's all about the wisdom hiding behind a simple smile. Let's get into it.
So the poem hits us with this amazing image, this riddle. Smiling, he points to the one road. The moment you leave the mountain, 1,000 paths appear. Whoa, think about that for a second. In the mountains, there's just one road, total clarity. But step out of that space, boom, 1,000 different ways to go.
So what does that even mean? What's the secret here? Why is the monk smiling about this? It seems so simple, but it's not. And that's exactly what we're going to unpack together.
All right, so to really get this, we need to go back in time. We're talking about the Silla Kingdom in Korea and a brilliant scholar named Choi Chi-won. Now, he didn't just dash this poem off. It was actually a gift written specifically for the head monk of a temple.
And you know what's cool? The title itself tells us a lot. In Korean Hanja, it's Jeung Geumcheon-saju. Let's break that down. The first character, Jeung, means to give as a gift. And the last one, Ju, means master or head monk. So right from the start, we know this isn't just a poem. It's a personal, respectful gift from the scholar to this monk.
Okay, so the poem kicks off by painting this picture of the monk, and it's all about setting the stage for his incredible, almost superhuman level of devotion.
The first line, 백운계 반창, insa. It translates to, by the bank of a white cloud stream, he built a temple. Just listen to that. The poet is immediately pulling us away from our busy world, taking us way up into the mountains, so high up that the clouds feel like they're a river flowing by. Imagine that.
And the specific words, the hanja he uses, are just perfect. You've got Baegun, which is white cloud, and Gyu, which is stream. Together they create this feeling of a place that's totally pure, just completely removed from everything. He even calls the temple an insa, literally a benevolent shrine. It just fills the whole scene with this deep sense of peace.
Okay, so we have this peaceful scene. Now the next line adds a layer of just immense dedication. 삼십년 래 주지. The translation is so simple it's almost shocking. For 30 years, he has been the head monk here.
30 years. Let that sink in. Not just dropping by, leading this one temple in this one spot for 3 decades. The poet wants us to really feel the weight of that number. This is way more than just a long time. It's a lifetime of focus. And that focus, that's where his wisdom comes from. It's the foundation for everything else.
So the scene is set, right? Absolute, unwavering devotion. And now we get to the real heart of the poem. The monk's quiet but incredibly powerful observation about, well, about everything.
Line 3 shows us what the monk does. Soji munjun iljoro. Translation, smiling, he points to the one road before the gate. I love the simplicity of this. He's not giving a big speech or some complicated lesson. It's just a smile and a gesture.
So let's look at those characters. We have so, which is the smile, and ji, which means to point. But the key, the absolute core of this line is iljoro, one road or one path. And you gotta understand, this isn't just a dirt path. It's a symbol for his entire life, his single-minded spiritual journey for the last 30 years.
And then, the last line lands like a thunderclap. Je risan ha yu chen gi. It means, the moment you leave the mountain, 1,000 forking paths appear. Bam. The contrast between his world and the world outside, it's just so immediate and so powerful.
So you see the two realities the poem is setting up, right? On one side, you have the monk's world, the iljo-ro, the one road. That's simplicity, focus, inner peace. On the other side, you have the world below, the chongi, 1,000 paths. That's complexity, distraction, endless desires, and a whole lot of confusion.
But how does that work? How can this guy understand the chaotic world of 1,000 paths by only ever walking one? Well, the secret, the key that unlocks this whole poem, is a really deep idea from Korean Buddhism.
It's called Hwayom thought, and it's a huge deal in Korean Buddhism. The basic idea is that everything, and I mean everything, is interconnected. The classic Hwayom image is that the entire universe is reflected in a single speck of dust, and that one tiny speck also contains the whole universe. Wild, right?
And this all boils down to one core phrase, iljuk dujikil. It means one is many, and many is one. Now think about that. The idea that the many can be found inside the one sound a little bit like our poem?
This is it. This is why the monk is smiling. By going so deep on his one road, his single path, he's not shutting the world out. He's actually doing the opposite. Through that total focus, he comes to understand the nature of all the many paths of the world. He gets it. He sees the complexity, but he's not lost in it.
You know, a scholar who lived centuries later, Kim Jong-jik, he just nailed it. He said the reason the monk could stay put for 30 years was because he didn't have any of those forking paths inside his own head. His focus was all internal. That one road wasn't just outside the temple gate. It was a state of mind.
Okay, so this is all fascinating stuff about ancient philosophy and poetry, but what does it have to do with us? With our lives, our phones, our jobs, our endless notifications? Honestly, everything.
Look, the point here isn't that we all need to pack up and move to a mountain. Obviously not. The one road is a metaphor. It's about finding that mental clarity, that spiritual focus right in the middle of all the chaos. It's about consciously choosing your purpose.
So what can we actually take away from this? A few big things. First, find your one road, your purpose, and really, truly commit. Second, start to recognize the 1,000 paths in your own life. You know, all the distractions pulling you in a million directions. Third, understand that by mastering one thing deeply, you actually get better at understanding a lot of things. And finally, the big one. Real peace comes from that internal focus, not from changing your external situation.
And that's really the beautiful paradox here, isn't it? Our world is screaming at us 24/7 to do more, be more, experience everything. But this 1,000-year-old poem whispers something totally different. It tells us that wisdom doesn't come from trying to walk down all 1,000 roads at once. It comes from choosing one and walking it with everything you've got.
So that's the monk's challenge, and it's as relevant today as it was 1,000 years ago. It's a question for all of us. In this world of 1,000 paths, a world of endless distraction, what is your one road?